Back at it again, baby, and we have another one. Thomas Sowell. Let's dive in.
What the welfare system and other kinds of governmental programs are doing is paying people to fail. Insofar as they fail, they receive the money. Insofar as they succeed, even to a moderate extent, the money is taken away. This is even extended into the school systems, where they will give money to schools with low scores. Insofar as the school improves its education, the money is taken away, so that you are subsidizing people to fail in their own private lives and become more dependent upon the handouts.
That makes total sense. I mean, if you're giving money while you're failing, guess what you're going to continue to do? Fail. Because if I succeed, you take the money away, and it's just, well, I'm going to go back to failing. I mean, I was getting a bunch of free money. Well, to the person getting it, it feels like free money, but in reality, it's not, because the rest of society pays for it. But yeah, makes total sense.
People to fail in their own private lives and become more dependent upon the handouts.
We have expectations built in today about the quality of life, the quality of job, the level of income for which one expects in return. Why? Because we look at the level around us that it takes us to have a fairly decent level.
No, that's not why. I may have all sorts of expectations. The question is, what can I do? If someone else is subsidizing my expectations will be far higher. Insofar as the Center for Advanced Study was subsidizing my expectations a few years ago,
I think if you took it away, and don't get me wrong, there are people who genuinely need, assistance, government assistance. One of you guys even commented in the comment section, all kinds of health problems and this and that. I'm not talking about those cases. Those aren't the cases that I'm speaking about. And I don't think anybody is really speaking about those cases where people genuinely need that assistance. I'm talking about situations and circumstances where people are just lazy and don't want to work, don't want to, try to better themselves or their lives, and they just live off government assistance. Or, there's other situations and circumstances that, I could possibly get into that I've personally seen, and people just are like, I don't care because the government's going to pay for it. I'm going to get food stamps, or I'm going to get this, or I'm going to get that. They're going to pay for me someplace to live. Those are the situations and circumstances that I'm touching on. And I think if we just stopped it, just cut it off, cold turkey, and people got smacked in the face with reality, I think a lot of people's mentality would change. Of course, there could be some negative side effects to it, but I feel like for the most part, people would change their mentality, get back to hard working, get back to making smarter decisions, because they have to. They know the government's not going to come save them. But maybe I'm wrong. You guys can let me know how you feel in the comment section, please.
Insofar as the Center for Advanced Study was subsidizing my expectations a few years ago, I refused to work at UCLA for the normal full professor's salary. Why should I when I can get the same money for being at the Center for Advanced Study with no hours, no duties, and no classes?
Cut off welfare tomorrow. What will they do? What will be their immediate response?
Figure it out.
At what price to their small children and to their middle-aged children? Yes, they'll get a job. In fact, the statistics show that women, in fact, are the most successful through the employment program. But what has to supplement that typically is the provision of some kind of daycare arrangement. Either the individual woman has to earn enough money to be able to pay privately for her daycare, or in fact she is, quote, subsidized through this insidious corrupting set of programs run by the federal government, which in fact makes her employable and a taxpayer. It's an interesting notion of trying to get people in a productive mode.
Tom Sowell.
It's incredible the way you start the story in the middle, as if there's a predestined amount of poverty, a predestined amount of unemployment, and that the welfare system is not itself in any way responsible for that.
There is a predestined 20% of the bottom half of the population.
I have never,
If you took it away and people had kids, they would figure it out. Sink or swim. And that sounds harsh. For example, if I was in charge of it, I'm retooling the whole situation, and I've talked about it with you guys before. You're getting a time limit on it. You have X amount of time to be on this program before you are expected to have your ducks in a row. I'm not going to kick you off cold turkey right now, but when that date comes around that we've already told you and predetermined, you're on your own. We'll help you out when you need it, which is what this is for. But this isn't for, oh, I'm going to get on it and live for a lifetime, on food stamps and welfare services when I'm an able-bodied person. I don't know. Maybe that's harsh. Maybe I got a heart of steel or something. I don't know. You guys can let me know in the comment section how you feel, please.
A predestined amount of unemployment, and that the welfare system is not itself in any way responsible for that.
There is a predestined 20% of the bottom half of the population.
I have never, that's always been true.
There's going to be 20% at the bottom.
Agree with you. It's also true that 20% of the bottom population doesn't have to be living on the government and ruled by the government. You mentioned, for example, a female-headed household. Many of those, in addition to the grown woman who has all the kids, are teenage pregnancies. There's not a predestined amount of teenage pregnancy. I grew up in an era when people, and particularly blacks, were a lot poorer than today, faced a lot more discrimination than today, and in which the teenage pregnancy rate was a lot lower than today. I don't believe there is a predestined amount of teenage pregnancy, a predestined amount of husband desertion. Gutman has done a study of the black family showing that this whole notion that the black family has always been disintegrating, that is nonsense, that his studies go up to 1925, the great bulk of black families were intact, two-parent families up through 1925, and going all the way back through the era of slavery. So it is now only within our own time that we suddenly see this inevitable tragedy which the welfare system says it's going to rush in to solve, but which it is itself a part.
We're talking about a very small group. We're talking about 12% of the families are not intact, are not two-parent families at any one period of time.
I mean, among welfare recipients?
12% in 1980. By 2008, that number had tripled.
Is itself a part.
We're talking about a very small group. We're talking about 12% of the families are not intact, are not two-parent families at any one period of time.
I mean, among welfare recipients?
No,
or the
among
population
the
at large?
public at large. We're talking about 12% of the families. 12%.
That's right.
That's a small number. But
But
there's
none of
still
those on welfare.
We're still talking about a significant component of the bottom 20% that are the bottom 20.
Helen Bohan O'Bannon. I'm assuming it's this lady right here, Secretary of Welfare. Makes sense. Makes sense why she's making the argument she's making if she's the Secretary of Welfare in the state of Pennsylvania. All right, interesting.
Significant component of the bottom 20% that are the bottom 20%. Whether they are above the poverty line or below the poverty line, they are still the bottom 20%. And the issue is, what is the responsibility of the other 80%, if any, toward those individuals?
Does your program plan to eliminate there being a bottom 20%?
No, but it intends to raise the bottom.
Does your program plan to eliminate there being a bottom 20%?
Why wouldn't the program try to eliminate a bottom 20%? In my mind, eliminating that bottom 20% would be something along the lines of what I kind of proposed. Of course, there's always going to be like a bottom percent, right? It's just always going to be there. There's always going to be, individuals who need assistance for a number of reasons. People that have disabilities and things of that nature, obviously. And those aren't the people that I'm talking about. I want to make that 100% clear. I'm talking about able-bodied people that are being lazy or just making bad decisions. My proposal would have been to, like I said, put people on a time limit and allow for them to enroll in like a trades program so that when they're off of the program or out of government assistance, they have the skills to go take up a job in the trades. But you guys can let me know how you feel.
The other 80%, if any, toward those individuals.
Does your program plan to eliminate there being a bottom 20%?
No, but it intends to raise the bottom 20%.
You're raising them by having more illegitimacy, more unemployment.
I'm not making them have illegitimate children. I hope that's clear.
I think. You don't have to do that. You simply subsidize it.
And all of them started laughing. When people know that, hey, if I make this bad decision by having a kid with, an individual that probably isn't going to be here, a kid that I can't really afford. And I know some of this sounds harsh and I get that. And I totally understand that. And maybe I'm wrong. You guys can let me know why I'm wrong in the comment section, because I'm open to changing my mind. But this is just off the whim. I don't script these videos or anything like that. But in the back of my mind, when you tell people, hey, just have all the kids you want, doesn't matter if you can actually afford them, just have them. We'll provide you government assistance. Then of course people are going to do it. People are going to do it. I'm not saying that people, poor people can't have kids, but let's make some smart decisions. If you really can't afford one, why are you having 4 or 5? Kind of situation. This is just me talking. Let's have a conversation about it genuinely. Let's open the floodgates and really have a serious discussion about this topic, because I think it's a serious topic. And I know to a lot of people that statement can sound harsh, and I totally understand that. But my thing is, what's the alternative? And if there's a good alternative, let me know in the comment section. If you feel that I am wrong, please let me know. Don't be afraid to say that I'm wrong. Please do not. Please do not. That's what this is all about. Having an open, honest discussion. Anybody could be wrong on any of this stuff. And I hope that people realize that, and, we can have conversations without the anger that the rest of the world tries to have whenever they have discussions. But yeah, let me know how you feel in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button. It's right up over there. Hit that subscribe button before you go. All right? Peace and love. I'm out.